check! It's English O'Clock! Ang pag-aaral ng English upang madaling matutunan, bakit hindi natin simplihan? Halika! Manood at makinig sa English Teacher ni Juan! Kung bago ka pa lang sa channel na to, huwag kang matakot! I made learning English easy for you! Please like, comment, and subscribe. At pakishare mo na rin sa iba para marami pang mga Juan na gaya mo ang matuto. What's up, Grade 7? We are here for another English learning journey. Ready na ba kayong matuto? I bet you are, kaya magsimula na tayo. Our target lesson for this video is Step 3 and 4 in the writing process, which are revising and editing. Last time, we enumerate the steps in the writing process. Ano-ano nga ba ulit yun? We have Step 1, pre-writing or the think stage. Step 2, drafting or the write stage. These two steps were already discussed sa previous video natin. And today, we will be dealing with Steps 3 and 4. Step 3 is revising or the make it better stage. And Step 4 is editing or the make it correct stage. Bakit ba natin kailangang pag-aralan itong mga steps sa writing process? It's because your final task for this quarter is to publish an original literary text that reflects culture, particularly an original short story, and that you will be the author. Revising and editing are related but different steps in the writing process. Revising focuses on improving the overall content and structure. This includes reorganizing sections, refining ideas, ensuring clarity, and enhancing flow. When revising, you may add, remove, or rewrite large parts of the text to improve its overall quality and coherence. Editing is more about fine-tuning. It involves correcting grammar, punctuation, and spelling, as well as checking for sentence structure, word choice, and consistency in style. Editing is often the final step to polish the work and ensure it's error-free. Let's have this Venn diagram to further understand the similarities and differences between revising and editing. Let's start with their differences. In revising, we add, change, or delete parts of the piece to help the writing flow. We turn worn-out words into vivid words. We come up with an interesting lead that hooks the reader and a conclusion that sums things up. We add specific descriptions, explanations, and details. And we organize ideas in an order that makes sense. While in editing, we change letters to capital or lowercase. We correct misspelled words. We add, delete, or change punctuation. We indent paragraphs. Meanwhile, here are the similarities between the two. Both steps help the reader read along smoothly and improve the quality of the writing. In summary, revising deals with big picture changes to make it sound better, while editing focuses on smaller, detail-oriented adjustments to make it look better. Here is a simple illustration of how we do revision and editing. Let's say this is your sample draft. Draft version. The weather was very hot. People were sweating everywhere, and it was hard to do things outside. Some people went swimming and others stayed in the shade. The park was empty and there were only a few birds flying around. Now, here is the revised version, focusing on structure, clarity, and detail. Due to the intense heat, many people were struggling to stay cool. While some chose to cool off by swimming, Others sought relief in the shade. The park looked deserted, with only a few birds braving the sun. Revisions include: first, changing the weather was very hot to due to the intense heat for more descriptive language. Second, using many people were struggling to stay cool instead of people were sweating everywhere. Third, adding variety and structure with while some chose to cool off by swimming, others sought relief in the shade. And fourth, replacing the park was empty and there were only a few birds flying around with the park looked deserted with only a few birds braving the sun to convey a more vivid scene. Now, this revised version will further be edited, and here is the edited version that is ready for publication. Edited version, focusing on polishing grammar and style. Due to the intense heat, many people struggled to stay cool. While some chose to swim to cool off, others sought shade for relief. The park looked deserted, with only a few birds braving the sun. Edits include: first, changing were struggling to struggled for tense consistency. Second, rephrasing chose to cool off by swimming to chose to swim to cool off for brevity. Third, modifying sought relief in the shade to sought shade for relief for conciseness. And fourth, changing with only a few birds braving the sun to with only a few birds braving the sun to adjust punctuation and flow. Here is another sample paragraph that needs revision, followed by a revised version focusing on structure and clarity. Finally, it will be edited to polish grammar, punctuation, and style. Original paragraph that needs revision. The beach was a place I went to often in the summer. I liked going there because it was fun and I could swim in the water. There were lots of people there usually, and sometimes it was too crowded to even find a spot to sit. But the water was nice and cool, and I enjoyed watching the waves. I would bring a towel and some snacks and stay there for hours. I also collected shells. The sunsets were beautiful too, and I liked to stay until it got dark. Revised version, after revision. In the summer, I often visited the beach to relax and swim in the cool water. Although it was sometimes crowded, I enjoyed watching the waves and finding a spot to sit. I would bring a towel, snacks, and a small bag for collecting shells. The sunsets were especially beautiful, and I loved staying until it got dark, enjoying the view as the day ended. Revisions include: first, clarity and structure. Change the opening sentence to introduce the time of year and purpose for visiting. Second, variety and flow. Combine sentences to reduce repetition and improve readability. And third, details and conciseness. Streamline the paragraph by removing redundant phrases such as "it was fun" and added specifics to make the description more vivid. And now, here is the polished, edited version. During the summer, I frequently visited the beach to relax and swim in the cool water. Although it was often crowded, I enjoyed finding a spot to sit and watching the waves. I'd bring a towel, snacks, and a small bag for collecting shells. The sunsets were especially beautiful, and I loved staying until it got dark, savoring the peaceful end to the day. Edits include: first, word choice and clarity. Replaced often with frequently for variety, and the view as the day ended with the peaceful end to the day. Second, grammar and style. Made minor adjustments for flow, such as changing "I would" to "I'd" to make the tone more conversational. And third, conciseness. Removed unnecessary words to make the paragraph more succinct and polished. Balik tayo sa target objective natin, which is yung makapag-compose kayo ng sarili nyong short story. If you can still recall sa previous video natin, step 1 or the pre-writing stage is the stage kung saan gagawa kayo ng timeline of events para ma-organize nyo yung magiging flow ng story nyo. To serve as a guide, gamitin uli natin yung short story na "We Filipinos are mild drinkers" as our example. So, let's say ito na yung nagawang plano nyo na magiging flow ng inyong short story. Again, this is step 1 or the pre-writing stage. Now, from this timeline, gagawa na kayo ng inyong draft. Drafting is step 2. Pag sinabing draft, ito yung longer version na may mga dagdag na detalye. Dito rin sa stage na to, pwede kayong maglagay ng dialogues or conversations ng mga characters sa story nyo. Drafts are written in paragraph form, at yung mga sentences nyo ay di naman kinakailangan na perfect na agad. Now, step 3 is revising. Yung draft nyo ay kinakailangang i-revise. Paano? Balikan nyo lang yung Venn diagram na diniscuss natin kanina. Basahin nyo na lang ulit, okay? Ito yung mga pwede nyong gawin para i-revise ang inyong draft. Here is an example of the revised version ng inyong short story. I-take note nyo na lang yung mga changes or modifications na ginawa from draft to its revised version. So, if this is the revised version, kinakailangan nyo pa tong i-edit. Paano? Balikan nyo ulit yung Venn diagram natin kanina. These are the ways on how to edit your work. Moreover, I'll be showing you the symbols we use for editing, also called as editing marks. Ginagamit natin ang mga symbols or marks na to para mas maging organized at madali ang pag-i-edit ng ginagawa nating short story. Pag-aralan nyo na lang, okay? Now, here is a sample portion of short story with editing marks. See how these symbols were used. Then, after editing, here now is the final edited version.
So did you learn something today? Sure ako na hindi ka na nosebleed. If you want more of this video tutorial and learn English in a light speed, huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe at i-turn on ang notification button para updated ka sa mga bagong lessons. Ako ang teacher mo, ang English teacher ni Juan. Class dismissed! See ya!